Welcome to another episode of More Than Books, stories from the Kanawha County Public Library. I'm your host, Stan Howe. On this program, we take a look beyond the shelves to highlight news, activities, events, and the resources available for KCPL patrons. For the past 45 years, the Sissonville Public Library has served northern Kanawha County as a branch of KCPL, and it has always been popular ever since it opened in 1979. Before that year, residents of the area had to make their way to the main branch in Charleston in order to enjoy the benefits of a public library. So far in 2024, residents have truly embraced the Sissonville branch. It's always a busy place. Over 22,000 patrons visited the branch last year, but things have gotten particularly busy since July of this year, with patron visits up 43%. Sissonville has seen over 11,000 patron visits in just the first 4 months of the 2024-25 fiscal year. The person making all of this go is branch manager Kathy Mason, and she recently had the chance to talk with our traveling correspondent, Jai Ravine.
All right. Thank you so much, Kathy, for being here today and hanging out and talking all things Sissonville. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Awesome. So I have heard that Sissonville program attendance has been up since the summer, and that's awesome to hear. I'm wondering if you can talk about some of the programming that you've had this summer that's been really popular and well attended.
Okay. Well, before summer, we were kind of stagnant.
Gotcha.
And then we were really surprised during the Summer Library Club kickoff program. We had a balloon artist and ice cream, and that was pretty much just what we were going to go with. And we had so many people, I think over 100.
That's awesome.
And it was totally unexpected. I mean, I was going back and getting ice cream that staff had, anything I could grab. So.
Right.
And then we had the children's programming really kicked off in the summer. I mean, I would say that our teen programming really picks up in the summer too, because it's pretty flat during the rest of the year, but in the summer it really takes off.
Yeah.
But we had some great programs this summer, like zoology, the place out in Hurricane with the reptiles that came out and visited. That was really loved. Robert Edsel Young brought out did a bubble program.
Yeah.
And
anyone from like a kid to a grown adult could stand in a bubble.
Yes, Danielle got to stand in the bubble.
Yeah.
She loved it. So
that's awesome.
Since then, I'd say probably in August we probably dipped again, but it's picked back up with the school year, which shocked me because usually we get a little stale in the school year again. But really, Halloween, we see a lot around here. Like last year, we had a spooky house program that was just swarmed. We had not enough stuff and so many people, but we made it work. We did groups instead of individuals. And this year, our Halloween party really took off. We had probably about 250 people.
That's awesome.
We did cookies and punch and games and crafts, and had my friend Rachel came and did magic cards, like not tarot cards, but animal cards.
Oh, nice.
And that was really neat. So.
That's cool.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sweet.
Oh, and the foam pumpkin program that Danielle did, that really took off. We bought a whole bunch of foam pumpkins, and the kids got to decorate them however they wanted. We just provided all the supplies and let them at it. So.
That's awesome. Yay. That's great to hear. I know you said it was kind of unpredictable that you had so many folks at the summer, but what do you attribute to like the increase in attendance, do you think?
We try to provide things that the people in this area might not always get.
Right.
Like the animal program, they might not always get.
True.
The chance to, I mean, there's not really many zoos in West Virginia. I think there's 2.
Right.
But so bringing animals here just opens up possibilities for people. Besides that, I would say that people really seem to I really think that people care about the summer library club and keeping up reading in the summer.
For sure.
They love the programs, but they also love the continuing their learning and just getting more books and not slackening in their reading during the summer.
Right, yeah. And Halloween's just a great excuse to celebrate.
I think so. I think people in this area really like it.
Yeah.
We really like it. We go
Right.
all out here at Sissonville for Halloween.
And the patrons respond.
Yes, exactly. We also go all out for Christmas.
Yeah. So, speaking of Christmas, what can folks look forward to in December? Do you want to talk about maybe the general programming that you all are putting on for folks in December, and then we can go into like the holiday open house and stuff like that?
Sure, sounds great.
Yeah.
So we are having our traditional program. So that's going to be family nights. This month is going to include the movie night, which is going to feature a well-known snowman.
Nice.
And we're going to also have our tiny tot story times and play groups where we combine reading to the kids and playing out toys to play with.
Right.
That's actually going on right now.
Oh, awesome.
And then we're also going to have sensory play, where Danielle comes up with a bunch of things for kids to play with that involve the senses,
Right.
like bins with different textures and things like that. Besides that, we're also going to have bingo. That's one of my favorite programs is bingo.
Yeah.
We have some new participants.
Oh, nice.
And actually, I'm hoping to bring my mom to one someday.
Aww.
So
That would be great.
We have a monthly book club, and
What are y'all reading in December?
The Woman by Kristen Hanna.
Okay, nice.
So the whole group loves Kristen Hanna.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So we are ready for this new book by her.
Awesome. Do you want to talk about y'all's holiday open house coming up?
Sure. So holiday open house is going to be December 17th in the evening at 6 p.m. We're going to have Santa, maybe Mrs. Claus.
Right. If she's available.
Exactly. And we're also going to have Robert Etzel Young doing balloon art.
Awesome.
And punch, cookies. The board really does a great job providing snacks for us. But we're also going to have the crafts and games. Besides the holiday open house in December, we're also going to have an ugly sweater contest and cookie contest on December 5th. It's the first time we're trying this. And it is in collaboration with the advisory board.
Gotcha.
So the ugly sweater contest is going to have rules like, obviously it has to be appropriate, but also anything that is going to be judged has to be on the sweater.
Gotcha.
Attached.
Yeah. Right.
And
so are folks going to be able to model their sweaters and people can vote? Okay, gotcha.
I'm trying to figure out right now who is going to be the judge. I think it should be Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, and Sparkles the Elf.
For sure.
But we have to see if they're available.
Right. So. And for the cookie decorating, is it cookie decorating or?
So we are opening it up for anybody who wants to try and win a cookie contest to bring 24 cookies.
Gotcha, that they've made.
And we're going to have tasters who are going to judge these cookies. I think we're expecting about 24 cookies from each participant. So
sweet. Great. So lots of things to look forward to in December.
Yep. And then I just want to talk a little bit about the other things going on in Sissonville.
For sure.
Because we're going to have we always do a toy and code drive in the Sissonville area, not necessarily always at the library, though it is right outside the library door usually.
Gotcha.
There's going to be a Christmas concert at the high school this year, and we're going to do basket raffles and a gingerbread contest there.
Awesome.
And then there's also there's always a great parade. That's going to be on I think that's the 7th, the Saturday.
Gotcha.
And in the day, there's a children's festival at the Maranatha Church. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yay! So many reasons to come to Sissonville in December.
Absolutely.
Sweet. Well, thanks. We're going to take a short break here and have more from More Than Books right after this.
A lot happens during their first 3 years. Their brain reaches 80% of its full size, and their vocabulary development can even be used to predict achievement by 3rd grade. Reading aloud is one of the most important activities that leads to literacy acquisition and benefits even the youngest listeners. Our goal is to allow every child 5 and under in West Virginia the opportunity to participate in Dolly Parton's Imagination Library program. The Imagination Library provides every child 1 new book a month, allowing them to start positive reading habits early. We need your help. Individuals, groups, and organizations can sponsor a child for just $25 a year or $125 for the full 5 years. To make a donation that will provide books for West Virginia children or learn more about the Imagination Library program in West Virginia, visit our website.
Thank you for the book.
All right, welcome back to More Than Books. I'm Jai, and I'm here with Sissonville Branch Manager Kathy Mason. We're just having a lot of fun talking about all things great in Sissonville. I wanted you to talk about, you recently have a 3D printer, and here are some of the things. We've got some things that staff member Kayla has printed on the 3D printer. There's like this really awesome tarantula and a little cat, a black cat, and this is a Fresno nightcrawler, a cryptid from California. So I think that at this point, patrons can sort of ask to like be able to 3D print something, right? And can you talk about like that process and how that's been going?
Sure. So we actually have Kayla create a catalog that people can choose from. Oh, nice. She has test printed everything in the catalog to make sure it come out right, and actually put out some examples. Then patrons can choose from the book what they want to print, or if they find something online, they can save it to a USB. We can slice it and go from there. Gotcha. We have had a couple of patrons do that. Usually we ask for some time to get that printed because we actually do have a pretty good wait list.
Right.
But filament is so cheap. It's just it's cheap to print anything, so patrons love it.
Awesome.
They are. Actually, I think a lot of them now are preparing for Christmas and getting some stocking stuffers, you know.
Yeah, so. Get in there a little bit early. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, and then also we've brought some of the amigurumi crafts that you have made. Actually, this is one you've made, an octopus, and this is a positivity potato that I got from you at an event you were doing. And talk a little bit more about this kind of craft, and also because we've got like really cool books in our collection on how to make these kinds of crafts. So talk a little bit about how you got started in that too.
So it was, I think maybe summer of 2018. I had already been crocheting. I learned to crochet when I was in Virginia. So back before 2016, but about 2018, I decided to try and make stuffed animals. And I watched YouTube videos, checked out library books, and started with it was just little monsters. It was just these little cylinder monsters with like one eye. Went from there to bees and birds and just different creatures. And I actually, do you remember the wildfires in Australia around that time? I was crocheting. I went to a get-together in Huntington, and we all just made things to send to Australia for the wildlife. Gotcha. So like sewers were making pouches for kangaroos, and I was making nests for birds that they were saving from the wildfires. So I also made just random Australian animals and sold them and donated the profits to the Australian wildfire relief.
Awesome. Sweet.
Yeah. Since then, I've kind of actually made a small business out of it on the side, and
Awesome.
I have tried to teach some crochet classes. I'm not the best at teaching crochet, but I'm willing to give it a try again.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, as we're kind of wrapping up here, I'm just wondering if you could talk to the person that you were when you first started at libraries now, what would you say?
So I first started in libraries right out of high school in 2008. And at that time, I thought I was going to be a psychologist.
Uh-huh.
And I think I would say to anybody to keep an open mind, to think outside the box, because I thought that, everybody was telling me that I was bright. I should go into something that was intellectual, and I did not think of libraries as that path. I thought I had to be a doctor. I had to do something that required a doctorate. Right. And if I had thought outside the box, libraries were so obvious, such an obvious answer for me. Right. But also beyond that, when I was doing a evaluation with my supervisor, she asked where I saw myself, and I said, not a manager. And look at me now.
I know, right, yeah.
So I think we can all see that growth is possible, and we can move from there.
For sure, yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kathy. I've appreciated spending time with you and letting folks know all about the great things at Sissonville Branch. So,
thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Kelly.
all right. Well, we're going to take a break here and have more right after this.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Each year, KCPL offers holiday programming and events at all of our branches. And here to fill us in on this year's activities is the head of the Children's Department, Terry McDougall. Terry, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for asking me, Stan.
Well, December is here, and so are the KCPL holiday open houses. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on?
Well, yes. 10 of our locations are presenting holiday open houses, offering them to the communities as a way of giving back and saying thank you for support throughout the year. Rather than list all of the holiday open houses, since there are 10 from December 5th through December 17th. If people will go to our KCPL website, kcpls.org, or our Facebook or Instagram pages, they can see the whole list with days and times for the programs. Many of the open houses are tied to local holiday parades.
Right, I believe the main library will be, that's December 5th, it kicks things off as part of the Charleston holiday parade.
Yes, the main library's holiday open house is from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. that evening, and then the parade kicks off at 7 p.m. and goes in front of the library on Capitol Street to Washington Street, I believe, and then past the library on Summer Street to the parade's conclusion. So
it should be fun, and this year the KCPL bookmobile will be part of the parade as well.
That's great news.
Right.
Show off that new bookmobile.
Absolutely. Now, what kinds of things, I know with 10 you can't go into specifics, but what kinds of programs will folks be seeing throughout the month?
In addition to the open houses, well, one of the big ones is that the Children's Department is partnering with the Charleston Dirty Birds again this year for KCPL night at the Light the Night holiday event, and that is on Monday, December 16th.
Yes.
From 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Children can get in free if they check out and read 5 picture books from the library and pick up a free children's ticket at the library.
I know last year was a blast, so it's great that KCPL is partnering again with the Dirty Birds.
Absolutely. And many libraries are offering visits with special guests from the North Pole. Some libraries may have Krampus come to visit. Sorry for that look. Krampus is not one of my personal favorites, but I think either Krampus or the Grinch will be making an appearance at several of our libraries as well. KCPL Children's Department Kindness Club is partnering with Children's Theater of Charleston for our monthly Kindness Club on Saturday, December 14th at 2 p.m. And the Children's Theater will be doing sneak previews of their upcoming production of Frozen. And then the Kindness Club challenge for the month is we'll be putting up a mitten tree and asking people to bring in scarves, hats, gloves, that type of thing, to be donated to people in the community that need it. And again, I believe many of our locations will be doing either a mitten tree or some type of give back tree. Elk Valley in particular is very good about doing.
Sounds like it's going to be really fun.
It is.
What about New Year's? I know that's coming up. Anything special around New Year's?
I know that at least 2 of our locations are planning special programs for New Year's Eve. We are open that day and until 5 o'clock so that we can get our families home safely for whatever they have planned for the evening. But at 2 of our libraries, we are still finalizing the details, but we'll be having some type of special New Year's Eve celebration for children and families.
Once we get past the holidays, what kind of programs are on tap for January?
Well, for January, we have Martin Luther King Day programs, and again, that's another holiday where people may think that we're closed, but the library is actually open that day. And we are working, some of our locations are working with, again, community organizations for Day of Service programs. All of our programs are free to the public. So one of the organizations is the local Bringing Back the Village, and they'll be working to do card making workshops. We have been approached by the George Washington High School Crochet Club. Ooh. And they would like to come and teach children how to finger knit. And so we have tentative plans to do that as well.
Well, and once you get past January, February is Black History Month, has Valentine's Day. Anything special planned for February?
I understand that it's also Library Lovers Month, and it's a chance for people to show their appreciation to their local public library. Many of our libraries are working on plans for Valentine's Day events, whether it's a traditional Valentine's Day or a Galentine's Day, or I know at least one of our libraries last year did an anti-Valentine's Day party. And that was for teens. So if they didn't have anybody special to buy into the traditions surrounding Valentine's Day, candy, flowers, that type of thing, they could come together at the branch library and just all be together. And I think they had pizza, and I'm not sure what else.
Sounds like a busy 3 months. What is the most important thing you want kids and parents to get from KCPL's holiday and winter programs as you look at them?
Well, depending on what the weather forecast is, a lot of people end up having cabin fever. And the public library is a community gathering space, and we have seen that a lot throughout our system, where family and friends come and meet up at the library, and they may spend hours visiting, talking. We have a lot of interactive activities for children and families to do together, in addition to all of our programs. And so we want people to think of the library as a destination place. And over the December holidays, we see a lot of people bringing in family members and friends from out of town. They want to show off their library, and that they always tell us, this is my library, this is our library. And we love that they have that sense of ownership and participation when they come to visit us.
That's great. Terry, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Stan.
We'll have some final thoughts right after this.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book can be the first element, helps to change a life. Book people unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
December is a special month at KCPL with tons of holiday programming at each of our 10 locations. Be sure to visit our website at kcpls.org to check out our schedule of events and find the ones nearest you. And remember, in the cold winter months of January and February, you can count on KCPL to provide adults and children alike with winter reading and library programs. So stay warm at your local branch. I'd like to thank Sissonville Branch Manager Kathy Mason for sitting down with correspondent Jai Ravine to talk about what's going on at the Sissonville Branch Library. And thanks to the head of Children's Department at KCPL, Terry McDougall, for filling us in on upcoming holiday and winter programming at KCPL. I'm Stan Howe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on More Than Books, Stories from the Kanawha County Public Library.